Hello everyone! Welcome back to my video lesson. Okay, panibagong araw at panibagong kaalaman na naman ang ating matututunan ngayon. And our topic in this video is all about illustrating an experiment, outcome, sample space, and event. Alright, so let's start. Suppose that a coin is tossed. We will determine the following. A, experiment. B, outcomes, C, sample space, D, sample point, and E, event. Now, bago natin siya sagutin, of course, we will discuss first kung ano-ano ba itong mga ito. Right? So, let's start. Let's define first what is probability. When we say probability, it is the branch of mathematics concerning numerical descriptions of how likely an event is to occur, of how likely it is that a proposition is true. Now, simply means it is how likely something is to happen. Okay? Or when we say probability, it means possibility. Okay? Now, what is probability experiment? So that is a chance process that leads to a well-defined result called an outcome. Okay, now an example of an experiment is tossing a coin. Okay, when we toss a coin, magkakaroon tayo ng outcome. Now, mamaya i-discuss natin kung ano ba yung magiging outcome natin kapag nag-toss tayo ng coin. Next, let's start with outcome. Okay? Ito na yung sinasabi ng outcome kapag meron tayong experiment. Now, let's say we toss a coin. Pag sinabi nating outcome, it is the result of an experiment. Now, for example, nag-toss tayo ng coin, ang kalalabasan niya is head or tail, of course. Okay? So, since meron na naman tayong face of a coin, of course, dalawa lang din yung outcome na makukuha natin. Next is the sample space. When you say sample space, it is the set of all possible outcomes of an experiment. Now, ibig sabihin yung sample space, ito yung mga lahat or ito yung lahat ng posibleng magiging outcome ng sample space or ng experiment. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung sample space natin is HT. Okay? Ganito natin gagawin or isusulat sa sample space. We use a braces and yung initials ng outcomes natin. Next, we have the sample point. When we see sample point, it refers to each individual outcome. Okay, so since individual outcome sa head or tail, when we toss a coin, sabihin yun yung magiging sample point natin. It's either head or tail. Okay, we can use the initials of the possible outcome or we can just write the outcome itself. Okay, next is an event. It is a subset of sample space, thus it is one or more outcomes of an experiment. Now, since dito sa subset, sa event, ito yung subset ng sample space natin. So, it's either landing on head or landing on tail, yung magiging event natin. Okay? So, tandaan lang natin, pag sinabi nating outcome, that is the result of an experiment. Alright? When we see sample space naman, it is the set of all possible outcomes. So, that's the keywords. Okay? Now, in the sample point, it refers to the individual or each individual outcome. Okay? Next for event is the subset. Okay, yan yung mga kailangan nating tandaan na keyword para mas madali nating ma-recognize or ma-identify yung outcome, sample space, sample point, and event. Alright? Next, suppose that you roll a die once. Okay? Try nating hanapin or i-identify kung ano ba yung mga outcome, sample space, sample point, and event kapag nag-roll tayo ng die. Okay? So, isa lang yung i-roll natin. Now, when we toss a coin and we roll a die, of course, magkakaroon tayo ng magkaibang possible outcomes and result. Since sa tossing a coin, dalawa lang yung faces niya, and sa dice naman, meron siyang 6 na faces since cube siya. Okay? So, dito magkaiba si they are both an experiment but they have different possible outcomes and result. Right? Now, let's determine the following experiment outcomes: sample space, sample point, and event. All right? Now, of course, our experiment is rolling a die. How about the outcome? All right. So, the outcomes are landing on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, meaning, meron tayong 6 na outcomes. Okay? Next, since we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, of course, sa sample point, yun din yung magiging sa sample space, yun yung magiging sample space natin. But, of course, wag niyong kakalimutan, okay? Don't forget to use the braces when we are writing the sample space. We have braces, open braces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and close braces. Next, we have the sample point. Okay? Sa sample point naman, we will just write the numerical or the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? No need to use the braces. Okay? That's our sample point in drawing a die. For event naman, of course, yung magiging event natin since subset of the sample space, it's either we land on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Okay, so that's the event for rolling a die. Okay, again, tandaan nyo lang, every experiment, they have different outcomes. Okay, they have different possible outcomes. Now, let's try to answer this one. 10 cards are labeled from A to J, then placed in a box. Okay, now we will just identify the following results as to experiments, outcomes, sample space, sample point, or event. Now, itong given natin dito, itong A, B, C, D, and E, we will just determine kung alin ba dito yung experiment, alin dito yung outcome, alin ba dyan yung sample space, the sample point, and kung alin ba dyan yung event. Alright? Now, let's try. Letter A. We have S is equal to A, B, C to J. Now, of course, our hint is the braces. Okay? Now, ibig sabihin, ito yung sample space natin. Okay? Next, B. Picking a card in a box. Okay, so ibig sabihin, ito yung experiment natin. Since pagpipick tayo ng card sa box, ito na yung sinasabi nating experiment. Okay? Letter C. Picking a card with vowel letter written on it. Okay? So dito, meron lang pinili. Okay? Na vowel letter. So ibig sabihin, ito yung subset ng sample space. So ano yung subset ng sample space? Alright, so that is an event. Okay, letter C is event. Letter D, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So ito, this is the sample point. Okay, sinulat lang natin lahat ng possible outcomes. Okay, since sinulat lang and walang braces, so this is the sample point. Because these are the possible or it refers to each individual outcome. Right? Letter E. picking card A, card B, card C, card D, card E, and card J. So, ito na yung outcome natin. Okay? So, we will pick a card A, B, C, D, and E, and J. So, this is our outcome. Okay? Again, A is the sample space, B in experiment, C event, D sample point, E outcome. Right. Next activity. So we have to identify the outcome shown and the sample space. So dito hanapin lang natin yung outcome and yung sample space niya. So dito, since meron tayong nakikitang arrow, ibig sabihin ito na yung outcome natin. So our outcome is red. Alright? Our outcome is red. Next, what are the sample space? So dito yung sample space natin is of course itong red and blue. Okay? Yung sample space natin is red and blue since ito yung portion ng red. Okay? Ito yung nakuha portion ng red. So we have red and blue. Next, number 2. So since yung pink yung may arrow, ibig sabihin yung outcome natin is pink. Alright? And of course, the sample space is since hindi sila magkakapantay, our sample space are green, yellow, and pink. All right. Okay, so that is all for this topic in illustrating experiment, outcome, sample space, and event. Okay, so I hope you understand this lesson. Always remember that God is good all the time. Keep always safe, everyone. And see you in our next video lesson. Bye-bye.